Imagine that. It's as old as the station. Imagine that. The one went, and we had another one, and the pot went out in this speaker outside because it's that old, and I stole the pot out of it and I put it in that one. So here we go. Thank you, Bob King, and we are live in Studio A for the live Drive at 5, brought to you by Homeway Furniture. Travis Key and all the gang down there, they've got a big bedding sale going on. So I want you to go down there and see Travis Key. Make sure he's not trying out one of the mattresses now, because he's bad to do things like that. But anyway, we appreciate them sponsoring, and we appreciate our guests that we have today. These folks have been making, we'll talk to them a little bit here in a minute. They've been making music a pretty good while, and I've seen them. I've seen them on Song of the Mountains when they were opening for Tom T. Hall, and I've seen them many times. I know a lot of you folks know them, and they're going to do a great job for us today. And here's Bill and Maggie Anderson.
Well, thank you so much. It's our pleasure to be in this storied studio.
Historic studio.
Yes, where so many of the greats of bluegrass and old time have stood in these same spots, and we hope we do them proud this afternoon. We're going to start out with one of those old traditional songs, and you at home are welcome to sing along. This is that Wabash Cannonball.
From the great Atlantic Ocean to the white Pacific shore, from the great rolling mountains to the southland of the shore. Don't quite well all. She's a combination of the Wabash Cannonball. Oh, listen to the jingle, rumble and the roar as she glides along the woodland.
I was just talking to Kelly this morning that somewhere at the house there's a picture of me and bashful brother Oswald standing together.
Oh, wow.
And that reminds me of that. I can say, oh, I was playing. That's a great dobro, resonator guitar.
Oh, yes.
I guess.
Well, now, I think I have special permission to call it a dobro.
Yes.
Okay.
We're friends with the son and nephew of
the inventor.
of the Deep Dopiro brothers.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
all right.
so
So you
we
can
got
call it.
permission.
I'm always.
Well, I think it's only respectful to call it by the name that the inventors called it.
Yeah, that's what I always called it.
It's, well, you know, it was a trademark thing with Gibson, is what it was all about. But,
Yeah.
But in my heart, it's always a dobro.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you do a wonderful job.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
We're going to do a Graham Parsons tune next, and as I've been telling you, we've been watching that PBS special on the country music, and we had known about Graham Parsons being in Florida, you know, and so on. We'd been to Winter Haven, where his father built him a concert hall.
Yeah.
But we didn't know much about him, and it was just a delight for us to discover that he was the one that converted Emmylou Harris to country music.
Yeah.
She was
And taught him the Louvin Brothers harmony patterns.
Yeah.
And so that all just fit together fine for us. We're going to share a Louvin Brothers tune here soon.
Okay.
And so we're going to do that one that, the story of this song being one that's been told over and over in country and bluegrass, about the young man going home to, or going, living at home and then deciding that he wanted to go away and seek his fame and fortune in the big city, and discovering that what was most valuable was right back there at home. And what reminded him of it was the Hickory Wind. That's the name of the tune.
song. Great song.
Well, you know, Bill and I met through folk music
Uh-huh.
quite a long time ago. When that was
I
when-
sweet talked her in 1965.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
All right. Yeah, well, I did the same thing with my wife. Yeah. It's a long story, but
I was gonna say.
but yeah, it was sort of like her sister got a date with my friend,
Oh.
and I knew her sister couldn't go along, and they were going to make my wife then. She was going to have to go with her. The two sisters were going to have to go together, so I had got my friend to promise me I could go. So she was trapped into it.
well, seems like it turned out real good.
It turned out okay. That's right.
All right. Well,
We're gonna do a Hazel Dickens song.
yeah,
Oh,
Hazel Dickens
yeah.
was one of those ladies that was in that
And
folk
the folk
revival.
music stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
From West Virginia, she is.
yeah. Well, we recorded this song that we're gonna do, and we met up with her in Nashville because we had to pay her for the song.
Yeah.
A mechanical license.
Yeah. So I said, "Well, Hazel, we recorded, we're fixing to record one of your love songs." And she said, "Which one?" I wrote 2. And this woman wrote like 300 songs.
Well, she's a real straightforward speaking woman.
Oh yeah.
So it's not quite a mushy love
No,
song.
this is not.
It's
mushy
telling
love.
it like it is.
Yeah.
And it's called My Heart's Own Love. As I was walking along life's highway, lost and lonely as I could be, looking for my own true loving, when I thought I would never see, just when I thought I'd never know love, just when my dreams all fell apart, I looked up from the deepening shadows. You were standing next to my heart. Bless your heart, you are my darling. Bless your soul, you are the one. Bless the Lord that brought you to me. At last I found my heart's own love. Just when I thought I'd never know love, just when my dreams all fell apart, I looked up from the deepening shadows. You were standing next to my heart. Bless your heart, you are my darling. Bless your soul, you are the one. Bless the Lord that brought you to me. At last I found my heart's own love. Sometimes we wander like lonely pilgrims, like old soldiers who long for home, hoping when our journey's ended, we'll find the sweet this peace we've known. Just when I thought I'd never know love, just when my dreams all fell apart, I looked up from the deepening shadows. You were standing next to my heart. Bless your heart, you are my darling. Bless your soul, you are the one. Bless the Lord that brought you to me. At last I found my heart's own love. Yes, I found my heart's own love.
Yeah, that's a great song. You don't hear it a lot either. That's not one of her songs that you hear a great.
No,
Great
no,
deal,
it's
either.
one of many, many.
Yeah.
Well, we lived for a long time near a place called Ithaca, New York.
Uh-huh.
They're famous for 2 things. One is Cornell University, and the other one's Ithaca shotguns. That's where it was made, you know. Anyhow, we lived there for a long time. We came down here 14 years ago. And because Sammy Shielder told us we should.
Yeah.
He told us to come live by him.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, Sammy's a good boy.
He
Oh,
is.
yeah.
He's been, and it's been a real good fit.
Yeah.
He was
We're
right.
big time. Anyhow, I don't know, I should go ahead and say this because where we lived for the longest time, you couldn't get away with this. But around here, you can insult anybody any way you want. If you bless his heart, he's dumb as a box of rocks. Well, and it's okay in church too.
Yeah.
You can, bless her heart, she shouldn't try to sing.
Right.
Yeah.
It covers. It smooths over everything.
See, we're learning. We're learning.
Yes, that's the thing. That's the fastest woman I ever seen. Bless her heart. You know, it just.
Well, I don't know what it means, but in this song, it's bless his heart. You are my darling.
So I don't know what's implied with that. But,
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, Miss Maggie's going to do us a little instrumental here.
I am. Bill built this dobro for me quite a number of years ago, and it has
25 probably.
Yeah, it has real pretty harmonics. So I'm gonna do a tune that uses quite a few of those harmonics. It's one called Silver Bells. 2, 3, 4.
Maggie, what got you interested in playing the dobro?
Well, we were, I don't know, P. Warnick?
Yeah.
Well, he had a band with his wife up in Ithaca.
In Ithaca. That's where we first heard bluegrass.
And he was playing, and we were becoming groupies, so we went along. They were playing warm-up, and as it turns out, it was for the Earl Scruggs Review. And we were sitting right up front, cheering. It was Country Cookin' was the name of the band Pete Warnick had. And we were cheering them on, and then here comes the Earl Scruggs Review, and there's this guy playing this shiny instrument. And I think it was, oh, look, shiny. And, it didn't look that hard.
Yeah, famous last word, that don't look hard.
Yeah, at the time I didn't realize there were a whole lot more wrong places to land than there are right places.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Maggie now, we've been here, well, she has competed 12 times in the Gay Thanks Fiddlers Convention.
Yeah.
In the dobro competition. Now, she has finished in the top 10 every time.
Right.
Which is pretty okay. But it means three things, actually. It means one, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
And two, she's beat out between 50 and 70 hairy-legged old boys.
Yeah.
And the third thing is she has made tens of dollars.
Yes.
Right.
Because there's cash prizes.
Yes.
There's
Speaking
tens
of
of dollars in this music. and Bill, what got you interested in music?
Oh, I played music in high school and stuff, and but mostly as far as bluegrass music. I played bass, played upright bass.
Yeah.
And I was in.
Yeah, we had a band for quite
Yeah, we
a
had a
while.
band for about 15 years, and I played in other bands before that, and I just love. I still do. I still bass fiddle is my first choice if I had a choice.
Yeah. Well,
But bass fiddle and dobro don't work so
That's
very
not
well.
enough.
no,
That's
no.
not quite enough there.
No.
Yeah.
So speaking about that, tens of dollars, we're going to do this Leuven Brothers too.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh, we can shamelessly promote our newest CD.
Yeah,
can
go
do
right
that.
ahead.
This one's on it, as are a couple more that we're going to do this evening. This one is called Cash on the Barrelhead. And our favorite line from the song is where this guy's trying to thumb a ride on a Greyhound bus, and he gets on and the driver allows us how this old gray dog gets paid to run.
Yeah.
Cash on the Barrelhead. 2, 3.
I got in a little trouble. They put me in the jailhouse for loafing on the street. Judge heard the verdict. I'm a guilty man. He said $45, 30 days in the can. That'll be cash on the barrelhead, son. You've got your choice. You're 21. No money down, no credit plan, no time to chase you. I'm a busy man. Found a telephone number on the laundry slip. A good-hearted gentleman, a 6-gun on his head. He let me call long distance. She said, number please. As soon as I told her, she shouted back to me. Now that would be cash on the barrelhead, son. Not part my dad, the entire sum. No money down, no credit plan. 'Cause the little bird told me you're a traveling man. In the jailhouse, 4 days on the road. I was feeling mighty hungry, my feet a heavy load. I saw a Greyhound coming, stuck up my thumb. Before I got seated, the driver grabbed my arm. He's mad with me, cash on the railway, son. This old gray dog gets paid to run. Well, the engine starts, but the wheel won't roll. Give me cash on the barrelhead, I'll take you down the road. Now that'll be cash on the barrelhead, son. Not part, not half, the entire sum. No money down, no credit plan, no time to chase you. I'm a busy man. No time to chase you, 'cause I'm a busy man.
Oh, little Cash on the Barrelhead. You're listening to the live Drive at 5, live from Studio A. Bill and Maggie Anderson, our guest, courtesy of Homeway Furniture, 121 West Lebanon Street here in Mount Airy. Bob, I tell you what, let's hear a word from Homeway Furniture, and then we'll be right back to more live music. Yeah, all right.
So what's the, does it go until 6 or?
Yeah.
Okay.
We go to 6 o'clock.
Okay, but I don't want to do Tennessee blues.
Y'all are sounding great.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah,
We
love
can't
it.
tell what we're sounding like.
Well, you
We're
just have to
guessing.
take our word for it.
Okay.
Okay, the mix is okay.
Oh yes, it sounds wonderful.
And now I was trying to find it on here, and I can't. They're
Let me
going to be
show
at
you.
the. They're going. No, they're going to be at the Autumn Leaves Festival. And I
Oh,
was,
the time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
the time is 10.
10 o'clock.
10
in the morning.
o'clock.
It's
Oh.
probably when it starts, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
No.
They're playing after us.
They're playing after you.
10 o'clock Saturday morning.
Yeah, Saturday
Yeah.
morning.
Actually, her band will be first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all people have to go to Facebook. They'll see. Check. You just click the link. It takes you right to this page where they're playing, and you can watch them. I'll see you soon. I'm out here visiting with Bob, Chicago Bob, Tim.
Okay.
We're long lost friends.
Okay. Yeah, it. I just want to make sure of the time.
So I think we'll just skip past Tennessee blues and go on.
You got 35 minutes. We got plenty of time.
Mm-hmm. Well, we always make the list about an hour and a half, you know.
Right.
Once we played at a festival, and the MC didn't come back and take us off. I think he was drinking. I'm not sure. It was on a Sunday morning. I mean, why not?
We could do Redwood Hills instead of Tennessee blues, or we could just skip whichever you want to do.
Now,
Oh, let's do Redwood Hill.
I may, while y'all are playing, I may get up and take a few pictures
Okay.
and send them to Jenny so she can put them on Facebook.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob King, and we are live in Studio A, historic Studio A,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
with Bill and Maggie Anderson. We're so glad to have them with us, and you guys now you've been down here about 14 years.
Mhm.
You said.
We have, and it just felt like coming home.
Yeah.
It's just been wonderful. The music that first brought us together, the folk music, we discovered sort of like the perfect circle, that much of it was made in these hills.
Yeah.
And then, bluegrass caught our ear, and then much more of it was made in these hills. And
Yeah.
so it just felt like coming home.
And one of those, I can remember one time, our band was playing at a festival, and the headliner was Del McCurry.
Yeah.
And when the show got over on a Sunday afternoon, and we were heading home, and we got maybe a mile down the road, and there was Del's bus
Right.
pulled off to the side of the road. And so we stopped, and I went up and said, "You need any help?" And he said, "No, I just got to put this transmission linkage back together, and we'll be on our way." Now, I'm not sure that Del is fixing his own bus anymore.
Yeah, he probably doesn't fix it himself now.
Well, we have the pleasure of playing at the Music Center on the Parkway
Oh, yeah.
every Wednesday from noon until 4. We're one of those midday musicians. And we were sharing that this next song we're going to do we heard done by Dale McCory quite a few years ago, and about how he just chooses real interesting songs.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple people there who had just been to IBMA,
Yeah.
and they were sharing about what a wonderful tribute they did to Dell
Yeah.
at this most recent International Bluegrass Music Association convention.
Yeah.
They're down there in Raleigh.
Right.
So this one is called Man Can't Live on Bread Alone. The Dow Jones took a dive today, another bank closed its doors. Man downtown tried to fly away from it all on the 18th floor. Everything he worshipped ain't worth nothing now. We had a Jaguar in the driveway, house with 18 rooms. Every night he dined alone, fed from a silver spoon. I guess he never figured out you ain't what you own. Man can't live on bread alone. You can't fill your heart with silver and gold. You've got to have some love to satisfy your soul. We've got to pull together to make it on our own. Man can't live on bread alone.
that's an interesting song.
Yeah, he puts together the Bible verse with newspaper headlines. I like to say that,
Yeah.
and then it gives some advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Well,
we like to have at least a little chicken now and then. You can't get by just on bread.
yeah. Well, you know, that I think that's why maybe Dale McCurry, like you say, has been around so long. A lot of those songs are very interesting.
they are.
Oh, yeah.
There's one that he wrote that I'm a Pharisee in recovery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just gets such good ideas and,
Yeah,
and
and-
such wonderful words.
Yeah.
And then that all aboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the train.
Yeah.
Well, Maggie and I were out in California last November.
Mhm.
We have we have two sons. They both live in California, and our younger son has a son, our grandson, and it's likely to be our only one. So I am required to go to California twice a year, whether I want to or not.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And we were out there in November last year, first part of November. When we got there, the air wasn't very good because there was this big forest fire.
Right.
Fire. and by the time we left, we were there about 2 weeks. They wanted nobody to go outside,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it was really bad. And but anyway, the town that burned down was called Paradise,
Yeah.
California.
That reminded us of this John Prine song,
Which we
by the
knew,
same name.
whatever, 20 years ago.
also about the destruction of a town.
Yeah, by greed.
So
Yeah.
if listeners would like to sing along, they're welcome to do that. Seems to be a favorite. It's called Paradise.
I was a child, my family would travel western Kentucky, where my parents were born, to a backwards old town so often remembered, so many times my memories are worn. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Just to keep out these cold rains all little way. Sometimes we travel right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison down High-Avery Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and the ship with our pistols. Then we pop wires, it's all we would kill. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. It should be by the cold train all little way. Then the cold company came, when the world was already shook. They tortured the timber, stripped off the land. They dug for their coal, and the land was forsaken. Rolled it all down to the promised land. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Just to be by these cold trains all little way. I died and my ashes roll down the Green River, but my soul will not move on the Rochester River. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, 5 miles away from wherever I'm at. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late to ask it. Just to keep my cold dreams all little way. Just to keep my cold dreams all little way.
That is classic right there. John Prine
John
classic.
Prine,
John
yes.
Prine.
And Jim and Jesse did pretty well with that.
That's
Yes,
where
you
we
know,
learned it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. And I didn't understand why. Jesse McReynolds continued to do that in his concert even after Jim had passed. And and then we found out when we were doing the Crooked Road and went up to Clintwood to see the Carter and Ralph Stanley Museum, we discovered that, well, Jim and Jesse Reynolds lived right near here.
Yeah.
And so they grew up in coal country, so they would really appreciate that
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we came from folk music, so we really liked the story songs, and so we were really attracted initially to the Country Gentlemen.
Yeah.
We just, you know, and Charlie Waller didn't care where he got the songs from.
No.
If there was a good
Any
song,
place.
it was a good story,
Yeah,
he
he'd
would
do
sing
it,
it.
you know, if it mattered whether it came from England or Canada or whatever.
Yeah.
And this one came from Canada.
This one is a Canadian song.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh, one of my favorite writers.
And
Love
it's,
Gordon Lightfoot.
it's that Redwood
Yep.
Hill. That's what we're going to do. You ready?
I think so.
Ours too. Let's see. I suppose we ought to.
Start shamelessly promoting, shouldn't we?
All right.
Yeah, you're here on the live drive. We tell anybody on the live drive at 5 if you've got a website or if you got anything you want to promote, where you're going
Oh.
to be, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, where we're going to be is
Sunday.
Sunday. We're going
This
to be
Sunday?
at Freeze Baptist celebrating their
We're gonna-
homecoming.
Yeah, we're
We're
gonna.
going to play at 10 at their Sunday school,
Uh-huh.
and then we're going to do 3 special songs at
At their
their
service.
service at 11. And then we're going to be at Autumn Leaves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. That's right. We had you a few years ago, and then we got
Yeah,
we
we
got
fell
off, and then
Yeah.
we finally got you back on.
Yeah.
So,
We're pleased to be part of that wonderful
Yeah.
celebration, and
Yeah.
we're going to be on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock.
yeah.
We'll try to be awake.
And but you know, if you we do have a website, and I do try to keep our calendar up to date on it. So if you just Google Bill and Maggie,
That's all you
the
need.
first thing will come up is our website, and then there's some other YouTube things and a Song of the
Some-
Mountain thing, and
Yeah, some unauthorized things.
Yeah.
So-
That's probably really true. What those ones are, you know, we're just
Yeah.
playing.
to speak the truth. Well, so we're going to continue to do what we have been very impressed with a songwriter that's making a splash in bluegrass music. His name is Brinkman, Mark Brinkman. And one of the songs the song we want to share with you next is one that he wrote, and it's sort of about that idea that the Lord often sends a cardinal to someone who's grieving to give them encouragement that their loved one is okay. Well, in this song, the mama knew that about the redbirds, and she loved the redbirds when she was alive, and she told her kids that the Lord would send down a redbird when she passed, and so we'll see what happens in the song. Mama loved the redbirds.
Mama loved the redbirds. She used to watch them fly. Painted red in texture and the blues in the sky. She liked better than to hear the redbirds sing. Mama loved the redbirds. Wintertime, spring, when they had their babies.
tell you what, we're going to take a break. I know Bill probably wants a drink of water. Right? That song will choke you up anyway. That was getting Bill. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to hear a word. You're listening to the Live Drive at 5, live from Studio A here at WPAQ. And next month, I want to remind you, coming up November the 1st, we have the Garrett Newton Band will be with us. And so we want you to be sure and tune back in then. But keep it right here. We've still got about 15 more minutes of the Live Drive at 5. And we're going to hear a word from Homeway Furniture. Bob? All right.
So how many songs do you think?
2 weeks I've been doing this.
Yeah. Oh, it's the time of year.
I
I
guess
think
so.
that's what it is. And as we get older, I've heard that allergies affect us more.
My wife took cold. I told you we played in Hoboken, Georgia. When we crossed the Georgia line, she said, I thought I had sinuses. I hope that's what this is. But that night she was sick and then with the cold, and I caught it the next week. And so,
Okay.
you know, I told we got our colds early and beat the rush. Yeah, this time of year, there's so much in the air.
Yeah.
Ragweed and
Yeah.
pollen and all kinds. Yeah.
I've never been bothered by allergies in the past, but
Now I was when I was young more than I am now.
So how many tunes do you think we should plan to do? 3 or 4?
or 6 or 12.
Oh, 3 or 4.
Well, you got, you know, if we run over a minute or two, it's not a big thing here. You got, it's 5:46, so at least 3, maybe
Okay.
4. We'll see how
Okay.
things go.
Yeah, we can do 3. Yeah.
We'll see how things go. I'm enjoying it.
Well, good.
I'm glad we got you down here.
Well, that's much better than the alternative for you to say, what?
Oh, yeah, never have them baggins. Y'all doing a great job. I enjoy it.
Well, we just feel so blessed at our age we can keep doing this.
Well, you know, I told Clyde Johnson one time we were talking about a musician who wasn't playing good, but I'd heard early, I won't say who it was, but early they were very good. And I said, you know what people are going to remember is how bad it is now. I said, I hope when I get that way somebody tell me. And Clyde Johnson looked at me, he said, you won't quit. If you've ever stood on that stage, people applaud for you, you'll keep doing it because you think, I know I can do it. I used to do it. And I said, you just keep on.
Well, we asked Jody to tell us.
All right, we're back. But we were just talking, Bob. We just had, you know, it's like being on the back porch somewhere when we do the Live Drive at 5. And Bob's pointing, you're on there. We're just talking. Of course, now we're streaming this stuff so that everybody on the internet was hearing what we were talking about anyway. But anyway, you know, we were talking about, you know, as you get older, you still want to do this. Once you've ever played music, and you stood there and you entertained folks, and I think a lot of us, you make people smile. You make people, you lighten their load, and I think that's a whole lot of what a musician does. You, even though you're having a good time and you enjoy it, seeing the crowd or somebody out there, just a smile on their face, and know that maybe you took a burden off of them for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big thing about music.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's one of the things that's a real blessing to us as we play at the music center, is that people say, well, this is supposed to be music all over here. We've come all this way and we haven't heard any music. We're so glad that you're here. And or they'll be having an anniversary and we'll sing a song for them for their anniversary. And so it's just it's special to be able to.
Well, ask something. How long does this at the Blue Ridge Music Center? I know it's going to end sometime soon.
Yeah.
Well, this year it goes until November 3rd.
Okay.
So we're playing all of the Wednesdays in October.
Okay.
So we'll still be out there
Yeah.
the 30th of October.
All right. Well, so folks, if you're a Wednesday, you want to venture up to the Blue Ridge Parkway and the Blue Ridge Music Center, you can see Bill and Maggie live, and I'm sure they'll have some CDs with them
We
or
will.
something.
Yes, we will.
And so you can
Speaking of CDs, this is the title cut from our most recent CD,
Also by Mark Brinkman.
Brinkman.
Yeah.
And I hope it brings back some really special memories for people who are listening in. It's called Grandma's Bread. 2, 3, 4. I watched her make her bread 1,000 times. Mine never tastes like hers, no matter how I try. Like a rose that blooms behind the summer rain. Some things in life are better unexplained. As the millstone would turn, she sang to her Lord. As that old wood stove would burn, her voice would soar. She had a handful of love and a cup of God's word. That's my recipe, she said, for Grandma's bread. I could almost taste it on the summer wind as it drifted through the cornfields out to us kids. Our little legs would run for all they're worth just to get a slice of heaven here on earth. As the millstone would turn, she sang to her Lord. As that old wood stove would burn, her voice would soar. She had a handful of love and a cup of God's word. That's my recipe, she said, for Grandma's bread. Now all I have to do is close my eyes and imagine that old farmhouse and a blue summer sky. A flood of memories overflows my head of a simpler time and Grandma's bread. As the millstone would turn, she sang to her Lord. As that old wood stove would burn, her voice would soar. She had a handful of love and a cup of God's word. That's my recipe, she said, for Grandma's bread. Grandma's bread, that's my recipe, she said, for Grandma's bread. I watched her make her bread 1,000 times.
Great song.
Yeah.
Great song. Great song. That brings back a lot of memories to a lot of folks.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so.
Well, as I said before, we really like the story songs. And after the Country Gentleman, we really liked the Seldom Seen.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, Mike Aldridge gave Maggie some tips on how to play the double.
Yeah, when I was trying to learn to play, that's where I was learning from.
Yeah.
Go to festivals and get a lick from this person, a lick from that person, and try to figure my way around this this instrument. But anyway, the story of this song is about a guy when he was young. He would jump on those freight trains and go around the countryside and see the country. And now he's gotten old, so he's not so much into running and jumping. And so he just kind of waves at the train as it goes by. And then the train has gotten older too, and it's kind of rusty and creaky. So the name of the song is Old Train.
It's kind of a biographical number.
For sure.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we've got time. Let's see. We got time for one more.
One more?
All right.
That's for
All
sure.
right.
And I want to say it's been good to have y'all.
Well, it's been a pleasure. It's actually sort of an honor for us to be here.
Yeah.
This is history around here, you know.
It is.
A lot of history around here. That microphone that you're singing around, well, Mac Wiseman sung around it, and Flat and Scruggs,
Yeah.
and Mother Maybelle has sung around
Oh,
it,
wow.
Roy Acuff and
Yeah.
Grandpa Jones, Doyle Lawson, they've all sung around that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's always an honor. I know when I come to work every day, I know Bob feels the same way. When you come to work every day, it's an honor to come into a place that has so much history.
Oh sure.
It really is. You
Yeah.
come in and you get, you know, when you work here every day, it starts to feel like home. But when you start thinking about how many people have come through here and the famous folks that have came through
Oh,
here,
sure.
it really makes you pause a little bit.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
and what an important role radio played
Yes.
in getting the music, people of the music out to the people. It's a
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
sweet thing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So shall we do Down the Rain?
All right. Well, we can do that.
Okay.
I hope that this song is a blessing to one of our favorite kinds of music to play is the gospel music.
Right.
And this is another one of those Brinkman songs.
Yeah.
And it's been recorded by just a whole bunch of different bands. But we just enjoy it because it gives us that hope of glory. And we just want to, for people who are going through a hard time, that there's hope beyond the rain. When the sky is getting dark and the clouds are moving in, when the storms of life fill our hearts with pain, just let the Savior in, for when we trust in Him, He will lead us beyond the rain. Beyond the rain, there'll be no more dying, no more crying, no more pain. When we put our hands in the hands of Jesus, He will lead us beyond the rain. When we live our lives alone, try to make it on our own, still the heartache and emptiness remain. If we hold on to God's hand, He will take us to our land where His sun will always shine beyond the rain. Beyond the rain, there'll be no more dying, no more crying, no more pain. When we put our lives in the hands of Jesus, He will lead us beyond the rain. Now the battle has been won. God sent His only Son to fulfill the promise of His name. And if we just believe, what a gift we will receive to live with Jesus beyond the rain. Beyond the rain, there'll be no more dying, no more crying, no more pain. When we put our lives in the
pleasure to have Bill and Maggie Anderson with us here on the Live Drive at 5, brought to you by Homeway Furniture. And Bob, as we sign off, if you would play another Homeway ad after I say goodbye, so we can make sure old Travis Key at least gets his money's worth out of this thing. And he's one of the few sponsors I've ever seen that down Homeway Furniture, they'll say, now don't play our ad too much because we want to hear the music. So, and we appreciate folks like that. Homeway Furniture does a whole lot to keep this music playing. And
Well,
thank you guys so much. And
Well, thank you
again,
for having us.
yeah, and again, Sunday you're going to be
At Freeze Baptist.
Freeze Baptist Church
Main
from
Street.
10 o'clock,
10
and
o'clock
the
and
home get to eat too.
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Great thing.
Feed you.
And then at the Autumn Leaves Festival, 10 o'clock on Saturday, you'll be
Right.
the second band.
Mhm.
And so we look forward to having you there. And
Thank
of
you.
course, they'll have CDs with them and things, and that helps put gas in the car. So
That's right.
Absolutely.
yeah, it's good to have you. Now, folks, tune in next month. November the 1st will be the next Live Drive at 5, brought to you by Homeway Furniture. And the Garrett Newton Band will be here with us with some bluegrass. So hope you'll join us then. Until then, I'm Tim Fry. It's been good to be with you. Good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. I'll see you bright and early in the morning for Vintage Bluegrass with a smile on my face and a large cup of coffee in my hand. Bob, it's all yours, buddy.
Well,
We enjoyed it.
real good.
We enjoyed it.